Okay. Uh, okay, so like I was saying, you cannot. So I'm trying to let me share my screen. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen now. Okay. Uh, yeah, so as I was saying, this is so you can create as many. I just click on OK. So you can see a new instance here. So you can be working on different, like if you're working on different projects or if you're working for different companies, you can actually have several different instances that you can log into. Okay, so but I'm just going to delete this connection because I don't need it. So by default, there's already a connection here that it comes with. Whenever you launch your workbench, my SQL workbench, it gives you this instance. So to launch this instance, just click on it, double click on it, and then if you're doing it for the first time, it's going to prompt you to put your password. You just put your password while you were installing it, you created a password. You just put it and then gain access. All right. So when you finally launch your MySQL Workbench, this is how it's going to look. This is where it's going to bring you to. Okay. So when you see these, don't panic. It is just the same, very simple interface. So I'm just going to explain everything you're seeing here. So this is where we are local instance. That local instance I launched. This is it here. It brings all of these things. So if we had another one, you have it here again, the second one here. You can have as many as, all right? So this is file. You need to save your work. As you can see, this work is not saved. So you want to save before you start working on any project, you want to save it. You can just come here. This can take you to different navigations. You can see new model, all of these things here. You can now save your scripts. So you can click on save. You can use this save script while you are working. It's same thing as Control S, the same way you save in your Microsoft Word or in your Excel. You use your Control S. But here, save as means you want to give it a name. So if I click on save as, it's going to ask me where do I want to save it. So I can decide to save it to my desktop. I can choose a particular folder, maybe here. I want to save it here. Then I can even create a folder inside here. Maybe I want to create a new folder that I just want to call it SQL practice or something, maybe anything. Then that means whatever I'm doing here is going to be saved inside this my SQL practice. If I select it and I click on save, now it is saved. Okay, I need to give it a name here. So the name, that first name I wrote is the name of the folder. But here I need to give it a file name, the name of this file. Maybe I want to call it let me call it first script. Okay, I can just call it my first script. First SQL script. Then you can see the extension here. To select the right extension for you, .sql. Then you click on save, it saves. Now you can see the name here, first script. You can see the name here, first script. It has been saved. So whatever we are writing here is going to be saved as on inside this my first script. You can always go back to that folder, click it, and it brings you here to continue your project. Okay. So now you have edit, you have view, you have query, you have all of these tools that you're using. Don't worry about them. Each one you click on is going to tell you what it does, like paste, undo, all of this. If you click on this one, it's going to tell you what it does, panel, whatever. So you don't really need all of most of these things while you're working. Then down here, you can see scripts. You can create a new SQL script. So if I click on, I'm inside this script now, this one that I named right here. If I click on this, it's going to add a new one, SQL file 2. So I can be writing here and doing another script here and as many as I want. But it is best practice that you're working on one script today. But at the time, so the reason why you may want to add a new script is maybe you're writing a code and it's giving you error, and you write you've really written a very long. Sometimes you can have a very, very lengthy code and you don't really want to test it, you can just create a new one to test out maybe a particular code that you want to write and see a particular query or script that you want to test. If it works, you can now copy it and bring it to insert here and then close this one back because you really don't need it. Then this is a new folder. If you want to create a new folder and blah, all of these things, this is a database. So these are just, don't worry about all of these things. When we keep on working, you get used to all of them. Then when you come down to this navigator, down here you can see schemas. Remember we talked about schema in last class, right? So in this schema, this is now where you have everything you're working on. By default, these things are databases, different databases. So if you're working for a company, this is where you connect to their database. But if you need to create your own database, this is where you create the database. In fact, you cannot work on any data without creating a database. Everything you're working on, every data you're working on, any table you're working on must have to be in a database. All right. So if you are working for a company, this is where you connect to their database. Their database is going to be here. So you connect to it. By default, this project file is there by default. This sales is just a database that I created. Let me remove it. So I can just say drop database. What's the database name? I can just say I want to drop this database. Then I'm going to click on enter, or I'm just going to highlight it and click here. Run. It is gone. So but this is how your own is going to look. You don't that database I just dropped down is the one I created. So, but this is how your own is going to look. It comes by default like this without any database. Okay. So, system is by default. I think this project file is also a database I created. Product order. Okay, yeah, this is a database I created. All right. So let's ignore that. Let me not drop it because I think I have some data in it. This is what you're going to have, just this sys. There's no database here. So you're the one that is going to create a database that you want to start working with. Then if you look at this place, this is a folder. Then this is save. If you want to save your scripts, you click on this one to save the script or use Control S. It's the same thing. Then this one is to execute your script, or you saw the way I highlighted what I wanted to do and I clicked on this one to execute it. So this is the one you use to run your scripts. Then this one is to execute a statement under the keyboard cursor. So this is one you're going to be using most of the time. So just ignore all of this one. Then this is another important place you want to look out for. So when you're loading data, like when you have a table that has a very large data set, you're going to have them here. If you want to see all of them, it's going to take a lot of time. When you load your data, it's will now start loading. Maybe the one that has a million row is going to start loading all the million rows. It's going to take time. So this is where you control that. So by default, you're going to see only 500 rows, no matter, even if it is 1 million row that the table has. Once you load it, it will show you just the first 500 rows. You can also limit it even further. You can show only 10 rows. If you select 10 rows, so when you load your data, it is going to show you only the first 10 rows. Then when you want to load more, you can actually but you can also put it at 100, you can put it at 200, you can put it at 1000, you can put it at 500, you can even put it as don't limit. It will load everything. But if the data is too large, then you're going to be wasting your time loading so much data. Okay, so you just limit it at 1000 or 500. Let's leave it at 500. So these are just the important things you need to know. So here is where you don't really have anything to do here. Here is just going to be showing you when you load data now, it's going to show you the schema, like the table connection of that data that you loaded. Then down here, you're going to be seeing the result. You're going to be seeing two things here. The first one is the output. Whatever query you write here, you're going to see the output of that query here. All right. So if you want to see the information in a table, you write your query here. You're going to see the output here, the result of what you've written. Now, this place is like a message, a display message. If you have written a code, a script, and the script you've written is wrong. When you run it, here is going to report to you that it is wrong. So you're going to see red that what you've written is wrong. It is going to show you what you've written and the result that is the error where you should check. So you're seeing green here because what I wrote was correct, and this is what I wrote. It took just this is the time when I wrote it. Then this is the duration that it took the SQL to run the script. It took it 0.1, this is 0.3 seconds to run that script to execute the command that I gave it. So this is just like the result. It's going to giving you the result to do. All right. So this is basically all the interface, everything about the interface. So we start by bringing in data. But before you bring in your data, I'm just going to look for a data to work with. But before you bring your data, remember your data cannot just come in, just like unlike Excel, where you just bring in a data and open it. All right. Here, before you bring in a data, remember I told you you must have to be getting that data from a database, or you must create your own artificial database if none is existing. So now we don't have any company we're working with to go and connect to their database, right? So we need to create our database first because the table you're bringing in must be inside a database. So you start by creating a database. That's the first thing. And you use a command to do that. And the command is what? Create database. So SQL is just like normal English, right? Normal English. So it is yeah, create database. This is how to write it. So what the next thing is asking you for, you can see that it has red. Whenever I have red here, it means that you've written a wrong code or your code is incomplete yet. So the next thing it's asking us is what is the name of the database that you want to create? So let's give it a name. Let's say the name is going to be orders or sales. Let's call it sales. Let's say the database we want to create is sales. That's what we want. So this sales now is the name of the database, like the name of the database that you want to sell. Or let me name it two things so that I will show you how to name in case the name of your database is long. So let me say this is Chris database. Let's Chris sales or product sales. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. What can we call it? Product sales. Let's call it car sales. Car sales. So you cannot have space. You can see the red line is back. So you cannot have space. Instead of space, you always use this one, this underscore here. This is it. So no matter how long, even if there's another name here, maybe today, if I want to name it, no matter how long it is, you use underscore to separate, to put a space, okay? So the name of this database is going to be car sales. Then this is how you close your query with this, what is this called? Is this apostrophe or what? This is not apostrophe, this is a column. So now when you hit on enter, nothing is going to happen. It doesn't recognize your enter button. This is how you run your code. You highlight it, highlight, and then you click on this run, execute. Once I execute it, see down here, it has create. This is the query I wrote. It is successful. It says effect affected, and it took 0.01 second to run. And you can see the green button here. It is successful. And then now we created a new database, and the database is supposed to be here, but we are not seeing it. And to simply see it, all we need to do is just refresh this schema. So I'll just come here and refresh. When I click, you can see our car sale is now here. So we now have a new database, right? So let's do one that is an error. Let's create another database again that is car sale and put a space. So let's leave it like this and try to run it. So when I highlight and then I run it, already I'm seeing this sign here showing that as an error. So I know this is not going to run, but I just want to show you how an error looks like, how it interprets an error. So I'm going to click on run. You can see this is an error. You see error code. you have an error in your SQL syntax, check the manual and that commands to. So blah blah blah. Whatever I write here, or obviously you're seeing an error here. It's not green, it is red. So it means you need to correct something in your code. So you just come back and correct it. But since we've created, I'm just going to delete this. It's not really a big deal. We've created the database already. Now, whenever you create a database, the next thing is expecting you to give it is a tables. It wants tables inside. But by default, each database you create is going to come with tables and columns. So if you click on this place to expand it, you can see it now has table. So this is it's now ready to start storing data for you. All right. It has table, it has views, it has stored procedure, it has functions. So you're interested in table. All the table you're going to bring in now will be inside this table. All right. Let me show you how it will look like. If you expand this one that I already worked on before, let's expand it. You can see the table. This is inside this table now. You have these are the different tables, 3 different tables that I have inside this table, and each of the table have all the columns. See all the columns. If I expand the column, these are all the columns in that table. You can see all these are all the column headers. Inside each of these columns, you have all the different items inside the column. All right. So this is basically how it looks. I am going I am starting from this scratch so that you understand everything step by step on your own. Okay. So we've successfully created a database, and our name of our database is car sales. So the next thing is to bring in table into the data. So I have a data set. Let me see. I think I have one data set that I saw we can just use to practice tonight, just to practice the basic. So now the next thing is to import your data set. But before you import your data set, you have to tell SQL that because now we have 2 databases here. You can have as many as you can have up to 10, 20, 100. So how is it going to know which particular database you are writing script for? So that it will know where to save it, it will know where to go and do whatever you want it to do. So you have to highlight the database. So there are 2 ways to do that. Is either you do that by writing a script, use, if I want it to be, I can say use car sales. So I can just say car sales. So with this now, it now knows that whatever I'm writing down here is going to be using this car sales. But if you don't want to do this, you can just leave it. Then just come to this car sales and double click on it. Once you double click on it, it's going to highlight it. Everything you're doing, it already knows that you are referring to the highlighted car sales. So I'm going to double click it now. 1, 2. You see, it is now double clicked. You can see it's now highlighted. Whatever I'm writing now is for car sales. All right. So don't ever forget, if I do not double click it, if I write queries here, it is not going to work. So now I want to import. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I want to import data
Yes, sir.
sets. I want to bring in data now. So to bring in data, I'm going to open this one and click on this table. Then I'll right click. When I right click, you can see create table. So you can even create your own table from scratch. But we're not going to be doing that because you either have your data that you're going to import, or you can connect to a database that has tables already. So you're going to see table data import wizard. This is the wizard that is going to help you to import any number of tables that you want to import inside this database. So I'm just going to click on it. Then it's going to bring me here where I am going to go and choose the file that I want to, import. So I'm going to click on browse to take me to my laptop or my computer where this file is. So for SQL likes CSV file. It doesn't really like Excel files. It doesn't like Excel files. And how do you differentiate between Excel and CSV? A CSV file stops with the extension .csv, while Excel file stops with the extension .xsxl, right? So if you see an Excel file, you already know, right? If you see a CSV file, you already know. So I don't know. Let me see if I can show you that um, in my desktop. So let's come here. You can see. Let's use this one. So all these are Excel files. This is the one I want to Titanic. This is which one do I want? Okay, this is the one I want to. I don't even know which of them. I think this is the one I want to work on. This one, other Excel. So this is an Excel file because it stopped with XLSX. But SQL loves what? It loves it loves CSV file. Well, let's see if it's going to allow us. So click on browse. Then we are going to go to desktop. We are going to go to data freak training. So you see, it is no longer showing me those files that we just saw now, all of those, because they are all Excel files. Let me show you again. When I click on this data freak, this folder, these are all the files that are there. Look at all of them. They are all Excel file. So it is even this PDF file, it is no longer showing me. I can't see them because they are not CSV. So if you watch, when we come here, you see, it is not showing me. This is the same folder that has all of those PDF and Excel files. It's not showing me because they are not the right cell format. Sorry, they are not the right file formats. So they are all disappeared. But once you have any CSV file here, it will show. So let's go and convert one to CSV. So we'll come here. This is the one we want to use, order. This order here. So let me open it. You see that it's an Excel file. You see, this is Excel, right? Uh, order. No, this is not even the one I want to use. I think it's this small one, order. So you see, this is it, order. It's an Excel file. So let's convert it to a CSV file. So I'm just going to click on file. I'm just going to click on save as. So I want to save it in Data Freak. Then I want to change the name to, I want to first of all convert it from this Excel. Let's change it to CSV. Where is CSV? This CSV file. It's now CSV. Then let's change the name .csv. But let's change it to, let's assume it's car sales. Mm. Let's assume it's car order. Let's just call it car order.
Mr. Chris.
Hmm? Someone called me.
Is there any way we can have the same file so we can practice along with you?
Back, I'll call
If you
you
can
back.
drop it on the chat, is that possible?
What?
Is it any way you can drop the file in
Yeah,
the
sure,
in the
sure. I'll drop it for you. So I'm
so
trying to
so we
know
can
the
practice
name.
along with you?
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. I'll drop it. I want to know the name to use for this. Who can suggest a name? Let's call it orders. Okay, let's still keep it as orders. It should be orders, but now CSV. Since we already have orders there, that's Excel. So we've not converted it to CSV. Then I'm going to click on save. So this is now, I hope you all know the difference between Excel file and CSV. I think I explained it in one of the classes in Power BI. Excel file has all these formats. It has all these Excel format tables, all these lines formatting. But CSV doesn't. CSV is just text. It's lighter. If this Excel file is like 100 kilobytes, then CSV of the same file will be like maybe 1 kilobyte or so. It's lighter because it removes all this formatting, all this Excel formatting. It just saves it as a text. So that's why SQL loves it. All right. So now let's go back to SQL since we now have an so you can see it is now seeing it. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me, please? Hello. Hi, did I lose you
Yes.
all? Okay, okay, good. Let me see if I have. Okay, let me drop the file for you. So I'm going to drop both the file. Uh, I'm going to drop both the, okay. I'm going to drop both the CSV and the, oh, no. Let me drop only the Excel file so that you convert it by yourself to practice on how to convert. Would that be okay? Is that okay by you? Hello?
Sure,
Hello?
sure,
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So did you guys notice what happened here? Now we are seeing the file here. We can now see the file. Did you notice what happened? When it was in Excel format, we couldn't see it. It was not seeing it. But now, let me go back. So let's browse. We'll come to desktop. We'll come to data Afrique. Now we are seeing only this file, even though we have so many other files there, but we can only see this one because it is CSV file. This is to show you that SQL only accepts CSV files and other type of file, but not Excel file. So I'm just going to click on open to load it. So it has seen it. You can see the path, the file path is in my C drive. This is the users in Dell. So if I go through this file now, I will see this file as well. So you click on next, then you're going to also click on so it brings you here, select the destination table and additional options. So you want to use existing table. Do you want to use an existing table in your, remember we already have a table that came with the database, right? But by default, it says create a new table. So of course, we are going to create new tables inside that table that we already have. So you can see this is the name of the database. Car sales is the name of the database, and this is the name of the file. So we are going to click on next to proceed. So just leave it the way it is by default. Don't do anything. Then you click on next. Now it brings you to this point where, just like remember in Power BI, when you load data, different tables in Power BI, it automatically detects the connection, the relationship. Now, when you load data in SQL, it automatically detects the data type in each of the columns. So if you open that table, you're going to see, look at the table. It has opened this table. Look at the first column here, order. This order is what? You can see it is integer. These are numbers, right? If you click on customer ID, you can see that these are numbers. It sees this as integer. If you open the customer name, this is what text. It sees it as what string. Remember SQL sees it as string. It is text in Excel. Then here it is also string. Here is string. Here is string. Um, it will see this one as number. Actually, this is voucher because it contains number and character. So if you see this as voucher, then this one it's going to see it as what date. This one is going to see it as voucher because it contains text and numbers. So this one is quantity numbers, integer. This is what this is going to see it as voucher because it contains. Now, SQL does not recognize this money currency. SQL does not recognize currency. So when you're loading your data in SQL, you have to remove currency. All right. It doesn't recognize currency. So just give it the column, give it as integer. Just give it as integer. Okay. So this currency only applies when you're in your Power BI or in Excel. But SQL does not recognize currency. So this dollar is going to see this dollar is going to automatically convert this as a voucher because it is not recognized. It doesn't know that this is number or money. Then cost, the same thing happens there, the same thing happens there, the same thing happens there. So let's see the data type that it has suggested for us. So for order ID, it is integer, which is correct. For customer ID, it is integer. Then for customer name is text. Can you see that? So you can change it if you think that it is wrong, that the data type is selected is wrong. You can change it. You can just select it and see all the data type and you change it by yourself. Okay. So assuming this one is, you want to say is text, you just click on integer and change it to integer if you think it is wrong. So already down here, you're seeing the table. It will also show you the table that you're bringing in. So you can see that this one is what? Integer, the numbers there. This one is integer. This one is customer name is text, gender is text, city is text. So you see, it will suggest now this is what I was trying to show you for phone number. Phone number is showing phone number as text. So it is showing phone number as text because it is seeing number and character together. So it doesn't know how to interpret it. So this is going to be voucher, right? So you can change it, phone number. You can change it to, okay, big int, double, geometry, date, time, binary. So I think we'll just probably leave it as what it has suggested. Then other dates, this other dates, it doesn't know what it is because this is not the right format for dates in SQL. So SQL doesn't see date like this. This is the right format. It uses the European format. That's what SQL uses for dates. Let me see if I can get this is okay, let me go down. Let me see if I can go down. Okay, good. So this is how SQL, let's say today's date is 27/09/2025. So this is today's date. This is fine. Excel recognizes it, but SQL, this is the way SQL is going to recognize this. Is going to be 2025. This is what it uses, hyphen 09, then the day 27. This is how SQL. So because we're in Excel, that is why Excel will automatically convert it to its own type. But SQL, this is a convenient, the West African or this prime meridian thing. But Europe, this is how Europe write date. It is always the year first, followed by the month, then followed by the day. European format. This is the format that SQL uses. So if I come out from here now, Excel will convert it to Excel type. But this is what SQL wants. All right. So since we are sending this is an Excel file and it is saved in an Excel format. So SQL is not recognizing it because this is the way. So so automatically this data is, if when you start your data cleaning, you're going to clean this date and convert it to SQL format. So, but let's try to change it here as a date and see if it's going to work. I don't know why we're not seeing. Okay, date time. So we're supposed to see date as well, but we're not seeing. Okay, we can use date time. So if we change it to date time, let's see if that's gonna work. Though, then product is seeing this one as what? Product is supposed to see this one as big int is when you have like big integers, when you have high numbers. So I'm just going to change it as text. Date time is text, obviously. So this is integer. Quantity is supposed to be int. Yeah, so quantity is int. Double, it saw it as double. Maybe if we go down, there's somewhere we have points, something points. I don't know why, but I'm just going to change it to int. Then when you come to selling, you can see selling price. It doesn't know what to classify it as. So you can see it classify them as text, and big int and text. So because it doesn't know how to handle dollar, it's not supposed to see dollar or any currency here. Okay, so we are just going to click on next. So now the following tasks will now perform. So it is going to prepare the import. It's going to go through everything you've done. Then it's going to import the data. So to do that, just tell it next. Then it's going to start executing. Now it has failed. It has failed because of those changes we did. So it's no longer recognizing those changes we did. Therefore, we're just going to uh, go back and start again because it has failed, obviously. So it didn't work. So this is now where your data cleaning comes in. So we are going to import it just the way it is without changing any data type. I just did that to show you how the data type and how it handles data type, okay? So you are going to change all of those manually by writing script to change them. So we're going to go to import. We're going to go here. We're going to click on this. We're going to click on next, next. Dropped. Okay, it has actually imported the table. Let's drop it. Then yeah, then we're not going to bother about what data type or whatever. Then we're just going to click on next. Then we click on next. You see, why? Think it still formats import data file. You have an error in SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to your SQL Server version for the right syntax to use. Name, gender, city, country. Oh, okay. So this is where the problem is, which we're not going to solve right away. The problem is here. Let me go up. The problem is here. I don't know. This place, this names, the naming convention here, city, and the rest of them. So maybe it's from the formatting. I don't know. I cannot start reformatting them here. Bold. I don't want to bold in it. I want to keep it by the side. So it is complaining of the formatting and all that. All these things here. So this was originally an Excel file. I just, just converted it. I didn't get I didn't actually, I was supposed to use the data set I'm supposed to use is too advanced. We needed to do this basic first. And look at all this loading. That's why it's actually, look at why it converted this one to text, because it saw this thing here. So this data is not clean. You're supposed to clean it before you start working with it. Then I can just change all this, remove all this $sign. But let's try again. Let's see if it's going to work. No. Let's leave this one. The one we're supposed to don't save. The one we're supposed to do all of this thing on is the CSV file on. I'm sorry, I didn't plan for this class to be long. But unfortunately, okay. I think it has automatically formatted the CSV file for us, the CSV owned for us. Let's see. So let's go down and clean that loading. So it changes on to NA because it didn't recognize it. All this NA, it doesn't know what it means, so it just remove them. So let's say we want to have all this thing to be equal. I want to make sure that all the okay. So let's save. Then let's try again. Then we'll come back to this place. Let's try again and see if it works this time. Let's go browse, bring this one in, go, drop table, then go. Let's try. Oh no. Prepare SMC from insert into car sales. So this one, let me look for another data set. Let me see if I can use another one. Let's use SQL FMC datasets. Okay. Let's try this one. Okay. Let's go. Next. Good. So this one is important. This one is working. So the formatting of that data set, maybe I'm going to work on it and see. It's formatted for Excel, not for Power BI. So this one is important now. It's going to take a while because this data set is very, very, very large. It's going to take a very, very long time. That's the problem here. Kai, the data set is very, very big. Let me show you the data set I'm inserting. This is it. This one. It's even taking Excel time to load. See this, see the data sets here. It has how many rows? About, see, it's 8,000. It's 8,500 rows. That's a lot. Hmm. This is large. So let's see if it has finished importing it. Come back here. So it has completed importing. You can see it has ticked both of them. So I'm just going to click on next, then finish. Great. So we now have it imported. So if you come here, you can see the table. So when I refresh it, you can see it has successfully loaded it. So if I refresh, you can see now the table now has an arrow. If you open the arrow, you can see the data set. Then if I open the data set, you can see the columns. So let's see, the other one that we imported actually came in the other table. Let's open it. Let's see the columns, see all the columns. It has imported it as well, the other one too. So we have two tables inside this one data, one class, say one database. So you can have as different tables as possible. So let's explore each of these tables. To open the table to see the content, it's not like Power BI where you just click buttons and open, no, or Excel. This one, to do anything here, you must write scripts. Even to see the content of the table, you must write scripts. So let's start writing. Let's just see what is inside this table. All right. So I'm just going to come here. Remember your select. The select is the language for seeing the content of your table. So remember, before I start doing that, I must make sure I highlighted the database that I'm going to be using, and I've highlighted it already, right? And if I didn't highlight it, I'll just type use this particular database. But since it's highlighted, no need for any script asking me to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and write select. So this select statement is to retrieve. It's same as saying retrieve the information in this social table. So select, maybe I don't know the name of the columns here. I can just select any particular column or columns that I want. But since I don't know the name of the column, I'll tell you to select everything. And the what you type there is this as what is it called? What is this thing? Is it apostrophe? Yeah. Say this apostrophe or asterisk. Sorry, this is asterisk. So this asterisk means show me everything, all the columns in the table. Then you come down, then you tell it where am I, then it will ask you where am I supposed to get this thing from. You say from, tell it from, then you put the name of the table here. So from this table, now the name of the table is FMCG. It's already showing me the table. I can just tap it to double click it. Then I'll put this space. Then I'll say data. Now, if I do this, it's not going to work because there's space in between them in the name of the table. So to clean this data, I need to rename this table and put a hyphen under here. But since there is no hyphen, I'll just use this method, put them inside this thing. Now it is now one name, you can see. So once I do this, it's going to recognize the table, that this is the table that I'm talking about. Alternatively, I can just come here from which table I can just drag this table and put here. But it will not still work because it will still not work. Okay. So why is it giving me error still? Let me see. It's not valid at this position except okay, this is the table. Let me see. Okay, let me see a simpler one. If I carry this other one, order, let's see everything that is inside order. Order is going to fly. Then I'll close it with this one. So when I highlight everything, I want to execute what I've done here. I'll highlight everything and I'll click on here. Once I click on it, it is successful. See, our query is successful and it is now showing me the table. But unfortunately, it is showing me just the columns and not the content of the table because the table was not imported properly. Remember, this is one we're having issue with. It's still imported it anyways, but it's still imported it anyway, but it is not it was wrong. It didn't import it complete. So it just imported the headings, the column names, and not the content of the column. So this one is wrong. So let's work with this one. I don't know why this one is giving error. Let's see. I don't know why it's giving error. Maybe it's from the name. I should have renamed it before importing it. If I run it this way, let's see. So it's an error. It's giving me error. So the reason why it's giving me this error is because the name is separated. All right. So the right thing to do is to put it inside this apostrophe here, but then it is still giving error, and I don't know the reason. If we run it, it's not going to run because see, it is still giving me the same error. So let's try to do something. Let's try to fix it. So I'm going to say rename. I'm trying to rename table. Rename table. Then what is the table name? I'm trying to rename this table. Or I don't want to go advanced. Let's go and rename it from the original, from the Excel file. So rename table, what's the new table name? The new table name is going to be FMCG or data. Okay. Okay, let's take it step. Okay, little step at a time. Let me not go too advanced. I'm just gonna come here. This is our source. I'm just going to oh, this is even the actual table we are working with. Is the one with the capital letter. So I'm just going to even it's already in CSV, right? So I'm just going to let me just save it as let me bring it here. Then I'm just going to save it as FCMG. So let's add that hyphen here to solve that problem once and for all. So it is saved. So now let's come back here, do the same thing. Come back here, quickly import, then go to here, data freak. So please just bear with me. I just want to take it. So this is the data here, just import. Yeah, drop this one. Just import only the new one. So just give it a few minutes to import. So these are some of the errors you're going to be having with SQL. SQL can be sometimes it can be very, very annoying. Just little errors and here and there. But I just want to show you all of this error so you see what we are doing this is like debugging, solving the error. Sometimes you'll be having error and you're doing everything right and you can't even find where the problem is. So sometimes you have to just improvise, maybe just kind of repeat. Sometimes if you can have error like this and you just leave it, you just log out, shut it down entirely for some time. Then when you come back again and start it to work. SQL can be crazy, man. So we are trying to remove this one and bring in the new one. You can see it's taking a while because the data is really large. If it was small data, it will just take few seconds and it will load, but it's still important. So let's give it a few minutes, a few seconds. We already spent 1 hour. So I think once it imports now, just do one or two and round off. So by next class, we're going to start from this point. Then we're going to cover a whole lot. So in your own practice, try to import this data, try to do all of these things we've done, see how you can import data, see how you can create database and import data into it, see how to convert, from Excel to CSV, uh, and a couple of that. But let's just watch it and see. We are almost done. Okay. Oh, taking quite a while. So this one did not import properly, this order. That's why I'm also going to format it and put it in the right way, figure out what that issue is so that it will be able to import properly. But not now. Not now, not now, not now. I decided to use this order because it's smaller. I'll have just few data, few rows in that table. But unfortunately, it's not in the right format for SQL. So this one that I was suddenly using is not the one I prepared to use. It's really large. That's why it's taking this time, but just bear with me. We're almost done. Once it loads now, just look at it and then close. So I'm also going to introduce you to something called BD, dbeaver. Yeah, it's called bdeaver. So when you connect this SQL to bdeaver, it helps you to handle this kind of files that's really big. Once the file is so big like this, dbeaver will just help you to, install it fast. If we're using bdeaver here, this thing will have installed instantly, like imported instantly, sorry. So bdeaver just helps you to import large files into SQL really, really fast. It will bypass all of this long wait and long process and just import it for you straight up. But I guess we'll get there probably in our next class. We'll use dbeaver. Oh. Some people have gone off for it's taking quite a while though. Okay, while we are waiting. So you can also drop, let's say we want to drop this order. So I can just use the drop function, drop data, drop table. Oh, my battery. Can drop table. It will ask you which table you want to drop. I want to drop this one. Then when I execute, it drops it. That one is gone. So this one, I can also drop it, but I think I've already dropped it with this data that
Chris,
we, yeah.
What I'm seeing on the screen is different from what you are doing.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing import data.
Oh, think import data, right?
Yes.
You post your screen sharing.
Oh, sorry. It was a recording that I paused or not. Oh, sorry. I don't know why this data is just so. So what I did is I just dropped that order, the other table that we used. That's what I dropped by using this command, drop table. Then if I want to delete this database now, I just say drop database. I'll put the database name and just run it. Once I execute it, to go. If I say drop table, it means I want to drop a table. I had two tables there, the FMCG table and the other one. I don't know, guys. Even my battery is kind of down right now. Uh, this thing is not working, so I'll just cancel it. I'll just cancel this. So it's canceled. Close. So because of the name of this table, the way it is, I don't think it can. Let me refresh it first. Okay, the table has come in. The new one that we brought in has come in, but it is not complete because the installation did not complete actually. Look at all the column names, they are here. But I doubt if there's going to, okay, let's open one or let's see the period and see if there's any information in it. So if I say select, I can just select a column. Let's open just this column. And then from these data sets, this table. Okay, so let's run it and see. Yeah, okay, it brought in the data as well. Good. So we can see all the data. So it is in now. List, I just opened the column. This column, this is one of the columns. So we want to see all the column. Remember how to see all the column? You use what? Asterisk. So if you put asterisk, even if I don't close it, it's still going to run, but I just like closing it with this hyphen. Is it hyphen or column? So when I execute it, you can see it's going to show me all my tables. See all the information in the table down here, everything, because of this asterisk. So if I don't want to see all of them, if I don't want to see everything, I just want to see only period, brand, size, only these three. So I'm just going to come here and put only those. So I'm just going to, my system is going to run down shortly. So I'm going to separate them with a comma. I'll put all this, I'll put this one, separate it with a comma. Then any column that I want to see, I just put it here and separate it with comma. Then if I execute, it's going to show me just those three columns and not everything. You see, it is showing just those three columns. And it's going to show, remember, it's going to show just the first 500 rows. You see, just the first 500 rows of it. So this is how to query. I'm now querying the database. Remember, we're in this database, right? So you can see, let's say I want to see everything. There's a whole lot we can do here, but I think we'll end here today. We've learned how to import data and how to query the database and see the information we want to see. All right. So from the next class, we can now start doing filtering. So I can also see everything. Let's say I want to see everything. But I don't want to see, I just want to look at this. Okay, this is brand. This brand now, you have different brand, Crocky, you have Dundee, you have there are so many of them. You have Pitbull, you have Crocky. So I don't want to see put bill, I don't want to see anything. You can use condition. So you can say you want to see everything. You want to see all the table, but only where you now put your where clause. You put a condition. Only where the brand, put brand, the column name is brand. You put where brand is equal to. Then you want to see only Crocky, or maybe let's say you want to see only Dundee. This okay, Crocky. I can't see the full name of the other one. You want to see only where the column name is Crocky, right? Crocky. See, this is Crocky. So because it's a letter, okay, let's execute it and see if we're gonna get error. So there's an error here because we want to. This is a letter, so we put it in like this. So you want to see everything. You want to see the full table, but you don't want to see other. Just go to brand. You tell it to go to brand. No, let me run the table first. Only the table. So we are seeing the full table. So I want to see the full table, but don't show me any other thing. Just go to brand and show me only where the brand is Crocky. So don't show me for Dundee. Don't show me for which other brand is there. Don't show me for Pitbull. Don't show me for, you see, Pitbull, Dundee, Crocky, Pitbull, Dundee, Crocky. Even Evan. There's also Evan. There's Buratino. There's so many brand. Zumba. Can see. So I don't want to see all of those. I just want to see only Crocky. I'm putting a condition. So if I run this, it's going to show us all the table, but the brand is now Crocky. You can't see any other brand here. We're scrolling down. You can't see any other brand. So it's going to filter it for you only where you can see. It's just the same filtering we did in Excel and the Power BI. So it's going to filter it and give you only, you can see all of them is for Crocky. You see. So if I change it to, which other one is it? Pitbull. I don't know the spelling again. I didn't check the spelling well. So if it is Pitbull, let's see if we got it right. Okay, good. You see, it's Pitbull. So Crocky cannot show you Crocky, cannot show you any other brand, but Pitbull. So we are filtering by brand. You can filter by anything. This is dates. Let's see. You can even there are so many things you can do. You can even do but let's not just do random things, okay? I guess we're going to stop here and then continue. So you can also do like group by, that someone will call group by, or uh group by is like I want to I want to group by like this brand now, group by brand, but I want to use volume, or let me say net sales. I want to check the sales for each of the brand. Remember, we have so many brands here, right? Let's remove this. Guys, in case we've ended this class, in case my laptop goes off, I'm just doing this just to show you, but I'm going to repeat most of these things in our next class. So we have all of these things, but I want to check use the net price to check for this Crocky. Crocky is so many, so I want it to help me calculate all the net sale for Crocky. So I'll just have only one Crocky, then one Crocky, one. So just summarize the sale for each of this brand. So I'm just going to come here and say group by. You can see group by. Then I want to group by brand. Great. So I'm going to run it and see. So we have an error here. It says select group by clause. And okay, now there's something we call clause. Kai, how do I explain it? Whatever clause you're going to use here, like in this brand, for example, now you're going to put, let's say I want to put the brand. This brand has to be here. Let's say we also want to use net sales. The net sale has to be here as well. So I don't want to show everything. I just want to show the columns that I need and not everything. So I just want to show the brand, and I also want to show the net sales. Where is net sale? I also want to show the net sales. So I can now, let me see. Okay, it's not unknown net. Oh, net sale. Look, net sale. Let me see if I can put net sale in. Let me see why it's giving us that error. Okay, because of this space here. So it's not able to, you see, each error you have will tell you, it is not showing us that unknown column net sale, because net sale, what they have here is net sale, but it is now seeing it as two different, see, it is seeing it as net and sales. So let's see if we fix that. You can see it has run now because we fixed that error. So you can see it is showing everything, but it is grouping it by the brand. So for Crocky, net sale for Crocky. Then for Dundee, net sale for Dundee, for Pitbull. So you can see we don't have repetition of, you have grouped everything. We have only